first event of the meet, and I'm so pumped. I'm here, I'm ready to go, and I fall on the last hurdle of the first event on the first day.
On your face?
Oh yeah, hard, like smashed right into the ground.
Oh no.
And people are always like, why did you want to go to West Point? Because I don't come from a military background.
Yeah.
My parents were not military whatsoever. And my dad, actually, both my parents, but my dad loves our country's history. Like if there's a brown sign on the side of the highway, you best believe, like Stonewall Jackson's burial place.
Yeah.
We're pulling over and we're checking out Stonewall Jackson's burial place, like every single time. So of course we only lived an hour outside of West Point, which is a very historical place. And so
You were only an hour away?
only an hour away.
Okay.
Yep. And I was 11 at the time. And my parents brought my brothers and I up there, and I fell absolutely in love with everything that I saw. For whatever reason, like God whispered into my ear, it was, Lindsey, this is exactly where you need to be when you go to college. And I came home that day and, you know, as a young 11-year-old and was like, I want to go to West Point. My parents were like, okay, yes. Like, we'll figure that out when the time comes.
We'll figure that out later.
Like,
yeah.
That wasn't the point of going up there, but yeah, we'll see how this all turns out.
Yeah.
And I mean, all through my childhood, it was just always in my mind. It is exactly what I wanted to do. And it ended up being the only school I applied to. I put all of the only college I applied to.
You were risking it for the biscuit,
For
dude.
the biscuit, yes. I was like, this is what I want to do, and f***ing I'm going to do it.
Well, hey, honestly, I appreciate seeing anybody who's got passion. She's like, I know what prize I want, and I'm going to attack that thing until I get it.
Yes, like there was really very little that stood in my way. I mean, in 5th grade, I remember gathering all my friends. I was friends with all guys. I've always been friends with all the guys, and we used to train for the military on the playground. Like we would like do push-ups, and where did this come from? I have no idea.
Would you consider yourself a tomboy when you were younger?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Did you wear like baggy clothes and
Oh
stuff?
yeah, for sure. Like there was one point in my young childhood, I think maybe 3rd, 4th grade, where my hair was about as short as yours.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Wow. Lots changed, obviously.
A lot has changed. A lot has changed for sure. I kind of grew into myself, but
yeah.
I was always a tomboy growing up.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so you knew kind of that you wanted to do some military stuff when you were younger. You just didn't necessarily know what yet?
I didn't know what at all. It was West Point. For some reason, like that place is what was so attractive to me.
Yeah.
And while we were at the academy, during that trip when I was 11, there was like a helicopter that flew over, and I was like, these aren't students. This isn't college. Like, well, this is the coolest thing. They were wearing uniforms, and it was so
the Harry Potter uniforms.
It was literally, it looked exactly like Hogwarts.
I know.
I was like, what is this place?
I know. That's what I think of when I see it, the big gray uniforms and stuff.
I know. And it's so, like, when you're there, it's so mundane and it's such a drag, and you're like, please get me out of here. But it was all I wanted to do.
That's so funny. It's like, man, I can't wait to go to prison. I'm looking forward to this.
Literally. And it was so funny because, like, my parents were like, do you really want to do this? Like, I was a really good track athlete growing up. I was in the Junior Olympics in high school.
Oh, wow.
So I could have I was getting recruited to other schools. Coaches were like, please come run with us. Yeah. And I was like, no, I just want to go to West Point.
That's wild. So you were in the Junior Olympics?
I was,
What was that like?
It was pretty crazy. I actually have a hilarious story about it because it ended very poorly for me. I ran the heptathlon, so it's 7 events. It's a very rare thing for a high school student to participate in because most high schools don't compete in. You have to be on like a club team.
Gotcha.
And so I had to do a lot of like private events in order to even qualify. And it was the Junior Olympics I specifically remember. And the heptathlon, it's 7 events. So it's hurdles, high jump, long jump, shot put, 800, 200, javelin, not in that order, over 2 days. And it was the first event of the meet. And I'm so pumped. I'm here. I'm ready to go. And I fall on the last hurdle of the first event on the first day.
On your face?
Oh yeah, hard, like smashed right into the ground.
Oh
and
no!
Ended up with a high ankle sprain. Like, so I knew something bad had really happened to my ankle at the time. The biggest concern that was running through my mind was, I'm never going to go to West Point. This is going to prevent me from, the coach is going to see this. They're never going to recruit me now. Like, that was my biggest fear. It wasn't the meet itself.
Yeah.
And so my dad like pulls me off to the side and he's like, you finish this first day. Like, you go through and you finish every single event on this first day. I mean, it wasn't mean or anything, but I was like, yes, I have to do it. I have to prove that, like, even if my ankle is hurting so badly right now. I've got to
Yeah.
push through. And I did. It was rough. I mean, I finished in complete last in every event. Like high jump on one leg is nearly impossible.
Oh my
I hobbled
God,
through the
dude.
200, my worst time ever.
I can't imagine having a busted ankle trying to do 200 meters.
My ankle was the size of a grapefruit at the time, and so they took me to the hospital after that last event, and the doctor was like, "Why did you do this to yourself? You probably injured yourself further going through the rest of the day." And I was like, "I just wanted to prove to the West Point coach that I don't quit."
Yeah.
And yeah, so I didn't compete the second day because I was hobbling around on crutches, but
Yeah, there's no way at that point.
So I got there, but I did not finish.
Well, so, I mean, so Jesus, so you didn't quit, but let's see, which congressman or congresswoman did you get to write your recommendation?
So I had Congressman Freelandheisen out of, I'm pretty sure District 11 out of New Jersey.
It sounds like German.
Yeah, I think
Freelandheisen?
I believe it's a that family has been in office for years and years in New Jersey. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so he wrote, how did that process look? Did you have to send him an email? Did you call their office? What did you have to do?
Yeah, the process to be accepted into West Point is pretty complex. It's much different than obviously a normal college application process.
The only reason I even guessed you had to have a congressman is because I know you do for the Naval Academy, which is probably
very,
just as complicated.
It's essentially the same process. But I mean, yeah, you basically go through their entire interview process. So you put your packet in, they invite you for an interview.
Yeah.
I remember my interview clear as day. I didn't prepare as well as I had hoped to because they asked me, what branch do you want to go into? You know, in the Army, there's 19, maybe 20 branches now where it's infantry, aviation, ADA, field artillery. And I said, the Army.
The branch is the Army, right?
But I was applying to West Point, so obviously I was going to go into the Army.
Yeah.
But that's just a naiveness that I just didn't know. But I look back on that and I'm like, oh man, probably should have prepared a little bit better.
Yeah, but I wouldn't have known either because like when I think the word branch, even now, like having the time, I still think branch of service.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I mean, young 17-year-old me, looking back, it worked out. Obviously, it was completely fine. But I didn't. All I wanted was West Point. I didn't really know that aviation was where I wanted to be. Like that was my calling until I got to the academy and started to learn about all of the different opportunities and jobs that the Army had to offer. So
how did you get them to write your letter for that? Like to get in there, like the congressman?
So you go through the whole interview process and they pick, I think, I could be wrong on this, but I think it's two individuals, two candidates that they sign for per district.
Okay.
And I was one of the two that they had pushed through the entire process to get the nomination from my congressman.
And so you got the nomination from the congressman, that you sent it off to West Point, and then they selected you? Mm-hmm. Okay. Was it the same year?
It was.
Okay.
Yep.
And so
Everything's
what year?
pretty close together.
Okay. What year did you actually begin attending
So
West
it was
Point then?
2010 is when I started, because I graduated high school in 2010. 3 days later, I started Beast.
What's Beast?
Beast is like basic training, but for cadets. So it's basically a 6-week program where they transition you from a high school student into a cadet. They teach you basic riflemanship, how to make your bed properly, how to wear a uniform correctly. I mean, because it's just a bunch of goofballs coming out of high school, very similar, I would assume, to basic training.
Yeah.
And you got to square them away. You got to teach them, how to drill, how to march, how to say yes, sir, what the rank system is and all of that.
Yeah. You got to establish that baseline, get everybody on the same page, same sheet of music.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's the indoctrination process, I guess you could call it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So you got over there, you went through your 6 weeks of Beast, and then you were there for 4 years, right?
Yep.
4 full years. What did you major in while you were there?
So while I was there, I majored in American politics.
Wow.
Which is so different. I never went to West Point thinking that. I'm a very math and science oriented person. I thought for sure I'm going to do engineering of some sort. And I had this one professor. He was my American politics. I guess we call them instructors at West Point. And he had lost his leg in Iraq, and his name is Daniel. He was Major Gate at the time.
Wow.
I think he's now out, and he was such an inspiration to me. For whatever reason, I was just so inspired by him, and he was my American politics instructor, and I was like, I'm gonna major in American politics because I want to learn from him again if I could have him for another class.
Yeah. So he left a significant impression on you.
Very significant, definitely. definitely. Yeah. And it was an okay major. I honestly couldn't tell you a single class that I took.
I can't remember any of that at all.
Yeah, like it didn't. I mean, he was left a great impression, but like the entire, I guess, course itself.
Yeah. Well, you probably had to take a lot of random classes that you would never normally take, but they're like, hey, you have to take this because this is part of the program, kind of thing.
Yeah, and it was all. I mean, I did like every cadet has to do kind of like a minor in engineering, so I did civil engineering, which I loved.
Okay.
And then all of my American politics classes were like reading and writing, which was. We didn't have ChatGPT back then to write for us, so.
I've always been better at writing in English than I was at math, which has helped me a lot because writing fitness reports and writing awards and stuff like that. And I still prefer writing that stuff just by hand. It probably takes a lot more time, but it just it helps me work through the process to get better at it.
Yeah.
But I'm terrible at math. I don't math in public at all.
Don't ask me to do it in public,
nope,
but I can figure it out.
I pull my phone out. I'm like, calculator, So when did you figure out what you wanted to do in the Army while you were at West Point? Did you find out at West Point what you wanted to do? When was that?
So it was my yuck year, so my second year there. Yuck year. Yeah,
why is it yuck?
Plebe, yuck. It's like a yearling. Like you're coming, I think
You're
it's
like a bird. You're like a baby bird.
Yeah, baby bird being like coming up in the ranks.
You're a little baby bird. Your feathers are starting to pull out of
Maybe I'll be able to fly one day.
That's so funny. Okay, so you're a plebe the first year. That's the same at the Naval Academy. I think their plebe years are first year, and then your second year is yuck.
Yep.
And then what's your third year?
Your cow.
Your cow year?
Your cow.
Cow.
Yep. Like literally COW.
And then what's the fourth year?
Firstie.
Oh, firsties.
Yep.
Firsties.
The firsties.
Yeah. There's such a microculture over there, man.
It's such a micro.
And they all bang on the table with their rings and stuff. Do you have your ring still?
Oh yeah, of course I do.
Do you bang on tables with it ever?
No.
You just wear it around and start banging on tables with it. See if anyone notices.
People are like, "What is that?
Dude, what are you
Who
doing,
are
man?" Nope. I know there's a lot of officers in the Army that they rag on the West Pointers, and then rag on the West Pointers. But it's the same thing for the Naval Academy. Like people rag on the Naval.
They should rag on us. Like there's so much to rag on for. We sign ourselves up for it. Like the ridiculous we do. You should definitely like.
It's a very cultural microcosm, and there's like idiosyncrasies that you take with you into your career.
100%. When you're in it, it makes so much sense. Like this is wonderful, but when you're on the outside, you're looking, and you're like, that is the most bizarre thing.
That is very silly. We did silly walks while we were there for some reason. So anyway, sorry. You found out your sophomore year, your yuck year.
Yep.
What you wanted to do, and that was what at the time.
So. West Point does this thing called Branch Week, where they bring in all of the different branches of the military, and like they bring in actual like enlisted and officers, and they just basically line everything up outside for the cadets to kind of like practice on, like what kind of culture do they want to be involved in. So all the infantry dudes, like, do I fit into that culture? Is this what I actually want to do with my military career once I leave West Point? And I remember sitting in my room looking out my window, and an Apache comes down right above my barracks and lands right in front of my window and right onto the plane. And I was like, that's what I want to do. Saying nothing less. That is a beast of a helicopter, and I want to fly that. If I have the opportunity to fly that, done.
So that was it, right there. That was it.
It was like, once again, this moment of just clarity. I didn't talk to anybody else. I was like, that is what I want to do. I want nothing else to do with any other branches.
For some reason, as you were describing that, I was like envisioning Harry Potter in his window with the stone walls everywhere. And then this Apache helicopter landing in the quad over where the field that they played Quidditch at.
And it looks exactly like that.
Because that's what I'm saying, like the stonework and all that stuff. That's like how I envision that, like you in a tall tower or something. Yeah. Not like a traditional barracks.
I just get on my broomstick and I fly out next to the Apache.
Dude, I don't know why that was like. I was like envisioning this, and it's like, wow, that sounds really cool.
And when you dress like Harry Potter too, like
it's a very cool culture. I think it's definitely a unique culture, microcosm culture inside of the military. But I love it. I think it's great because it's like, I think that all these like wide varieties of differences in culture is super cool.
Yeah.
And it makes the diversity in culture between even different branches of service, I think, is cool.
100%. Imagine if you had the same across the board.
It would be boring.
It would be so boring. I love
Yeah.
it within different squads. You know what I mean? Like there's a culture within everything we do.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. So anyway,
Yeah.
you found out, you saw that Apache, you're like, I want to fly a gunship.
Yes.
That's what I want to do. And then what did you have to do from there?
So since I had that as my ambitions, I knew getting aviation at the time when I was at West Point was really challenging. A lot of cadets obviously want to fly helicopters.
Yeah.
And I knew that I needed my OML to be pretty high. So
What's an OML?
Like your rank, like your class rank.
Okay.
So I had to, I mean, I was always very studious. And I knew that I was up there academically and physically because I was still running track. I needed my military grade to get stronger. And that's just kind of how they ranked us in order for us back then. They changed it now, but back then to choose what you were going to do in the Army.
Yeah.
And
So you were competing against your peers for jobs.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yep, exactly. And so, I mean, I just pretty much set my mind to it. I was like, if I know I need to be top 300 in my class in order to assure that I'm going to get aviation, I'm going to make sure that I am top 300 in my class. And yeah, I mean, you can ask all my friends, my roommates. I was just a nerd. I was like, until I like met my now husband at West Point, I basically just stayed in my room and studied and went to track and ran. And I just really cared about getting good grades.
Yeah.
You were so studious. Yeah. Well, you had your eyes on the prize. You're like.